Right. Hey everybody. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about stretching, which is a great topic, especially because I think what is really, I think the big question is, what are you stretching when you're stretching? That's probably the biggest question of all, is what are you stretching? And why are you stretching? Well, let me just say that most importantly, the thing you want to remember is that the more you stretch, the more you move your body, the better you move your body, the more you'll feel. Like the more your whole body will feel better throughout the day. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to start with some really simple classic stretching, and I want you to see how it feels. And then I'm going to add some little bit of fascial experiences to it. So add a little bit of a change just to see if you notice or you can recognize the difference in your body. Okay, so let's start off with a classic Pilates stretch, okay? This is a classic stretch we call the mermaid. It's standing. We take the inhale, lift the arm up, and then exhale, side bend over. Now, I want you to point to, just so you can, in your own mind, sense where you're feeling this. I'm feeling this right here. I definitely feel the side of my body stretching, okay? And then lift up, and then lower back down. Let's try that on the other side. So inhale to lift, exhale to side bend, and immediately I feel it here. This time it's feeling a little bit more like it goes down lower. So are you noticing the differences too from one side to the other? Inhale, lift. We're not really symmetrical, are we? Inhale, lift the arm up. Let's do that again. Exhale, side bend over. And what are you feeling? You're feeling a little bit of a pulling sensation perhaps, or some stretching through the side of your body. Inhale, lift again, and exhale, lower down. Let's try that on the other side one more time. Inhale, exhale, side bend over. Notice the stretch, notice the feeling, the sensation that you're having. Inhale, exhale, lower back down. Now I'm going to change it just a little and see if you can recognize the difference. So inhale. So rather than just isolating that stretch to here, I want you to shift your body weight over, and now notice how much more globally you feel that. Can you sense that entire lateral line of your body stretching? Inhale, come back up, and exhale, lower back down. Okay, let's try that on the other side. So inhale, lift your arm. Exhale, start to go into that isolated area, so more sort of upper body isolation, and then go into a little bit of a sway of the body. And notice how that then engages the entire lateral line of your body, okay? Inhale, come back up, and exhale to lower back down. Inhale, reach the arm, exhale, side bend over, add that sway pattern, so you're getting this big sense of global stretch as opposed to isolated stretching. Inhale, exhale, lower down. I'm going to do it one more time, okay? So inhale, then I'm going to add another change. Exhale, side bend over, and just notice how that feels. Again, that global sensation through the whole lateral side of your body. Inhale, come back up again. Exhale, lower down. Now I'm going to back up just a little bit so you can see my hand. All right, I'm going to add another experience to that. Before I actually add the experience, I want to go back to the first one we did. Inhale, exhale, feel the isolated stretch. Okay, I feel that more in the upper trunk. Now, go into that side bend. Notice how that feels. Just sense where you're feeling it. In fact, even point sort of to where you're feeling it. I feel it the entire lateral line. Okay, now, take your hand, take your thumb, and push your thumb up, and now push through the ground and reach through that thumb, and tell me what you feel now. Does that start to spin more down into the front of your body? Can you sense the connection of the thumb all the way into even as deep as the psoas, right? Come back up and lower back down. Yes, that's right. Inhale, lift the arm up, the psoas. Everyone talks about that. Exhale, isolate it first. Integrate that stretch. Feel that overstretched. Feel that? Now spin the thumb upward and notice how it spins right under the armpit, spins right into the chest wall, spins right into the abdomen area, right into the back wall of your spine, right into your psoas. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Everything is connected with fascia, right? Everything is connected. There are all continuities in our body. So if we isolate our stretching, we're minimizing our potential to really feel fluid and really feel engaged. So let's go into that deep stretch. Press and sense as you spin. And maybe now you start to push your hand in different positions. Press your foot down so you have that oppositional feel, and notice what that's doing to your body. How you can sense different angles, relate to different structures that you're stretching. Inhale, exhale down. I've only done one stretch with you, right? We've only done one stretch, but are you sensing the differences in just your application? So let's do it again. Inhale, exhale, that isolated feel, that integrated feel. Then you press through the thumb, and then you start to spin and reach, almost like a mini pulsing action. Reach, and notice how that starts to engage in a three-dimensional way, that entire lateral line, And pressing the foot into the ground provides that opposition, that support structure into the earth, right? To press against and away from. And then release back up. Okay, how did that feel? Really nice, right? So notice how long you feel in the waist space, right? This whole waist space. We're gonna go now into a cat stretch. This is another classic Pilates stretch, only we're doing it standing. Okay, so come into your quarter squat position. And what I mean by that is just a hinge pattern here. And then from that position, place your hands just onto your thighs. From there, I want you to start to articulate your spine into a flexed spine position. So inhale into that flexed spine position. Now, just notice how that feels. Okay, and then articulate your spine to come back to a straight line again. Inhale. As you exhale, start to drop the tailbone around the spine. Articulate that spine into that cat stretch position. Notice how nice that feels. Inhale to stay, and then exhale to articulate to come back to straight. Now I'm just going to add a variation to that. What I want you to do with your hands is I want you to push into your hands as you pull your abdomen away from your hands. Inhale, exhale, push and pull. And now what you're creating is this tensional network, right? Can you sense that? That pushing. Push the thighs into the hands and the hands into the thighs. Get that full stretch. And then as you inhale and come into neutral, start to pull your hands so that you're pushing into your thighs, but you're pulling your hands to come into extension. So pushing into the hands, but pulling the arms back. Pushing into the round spine position and then pulling back. Let's try that a couple more times. Inhaling into that round position, exhaling, pulling through, feeling the sensation of push and pull. Inhale, push and pull at the same time, right? And then exhale, come back. Now stand yourself all the way up. Perfect. All right, the next thing we're going to do with the same cat stretch is we're going to go into an offset position, okay? I'm going to shut my door because I can hear people coming into a club. We are sort of slightly open, okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go into an offset stance position. So one foot's going to be forward and one foot's going to be back, okay? So offset stance, do the same exact thing, the first one we did. You just round your spine, and then you release it. Keep your knees slightly bent, curling through the abdominal space, feeling that roundness in the spine, and then releasing back again. Not using your hands, not thinking about push and pull. Just notice as you round your spine in that offset stance position, if it changes your experience. So what I'm sensing as I'm going into that stretch right there is I'm sensing the foot that's forward, that whole side of my body feels longer. Can you sense that too? Maybe the other side feels more intense for you. So it really just depends on your individual experience, right? What are you stretching? What are you looking to stretch? And then exhale, go back. Now let's add that push and pull concept again. So from here, pushing into your legs, the legs push back into your hands, and then push into that as you round, and you sort of feel like you're pulling your spine back as you're pushing into your legs. This is a gentle push and pull. And then as you come through, pull yourself into extension. Push yourself into that flexion. These are gentle, tensional qualities, like 20% of your energy. I'm not asking you to push with 80% of your energy. 20% of your energy into that round spine position, 20% of your energy pulling back into that extension. Inhaling and exhaling, using the breath, and then exhaling, coming back into that position. And now let's make sure we do the other side. So put the other leg forward and see if you feel a difference, right? So it's all about you exploring your body through these stretches. Offset stance position, hands on the thighs. Don't use your hands to start with, just notice. Now that front leg creates a little bit more of a length through this posterior side of your body. Can you feel that? And then release it. So you might be feeling that more. Rounding through the spine, getting that sense. Now if you push into your foot, notice what happens there. So the push and the pull is not just through the hands, but how much are you gauging? How much tone are you adding by pushing into your foot and then release back again? Tone is a huge part of stretching. Pressing through the hands, pressing through the foot, really feeling that elongation, but it's again only 20%. It's all you need for force. You don't need a lot of force. You don't want to drive yourself into too much flexion or too much extension with force. And then bringing it back again. We'll do that one more time, getting that tensional quality by pushing into the hands and pulling the body away, driving the forces through the foot into the earth, and then releasing it to come all the way back again. And now stand up. Okay, how are you feeling? You've done about 9 minutes of stretching, right? And we've only done 2 stretches, but the change in variation is what we're really looking at. Now I'm going to have you do an entirely different stretch. You're going to come into a stretch where you're bent in one side. So I'm in a lunge type pattern where I'm getting this adductor stretch right here. Can you feel that adductor, that inner thigh stretch? I want you to drive your pelvis really far back. And now what I want you to do is turn your leg laterally, dig your heel into the floor, and push your pelvis off to the side. Come back, push the pelvis, okay? So the pelvis is sort of going in this frontal plane as you're stretching, okay? So press the pelvis back. Now continue with that and think about pushing the heel into the ground as you press your hips the other way. So push, but then pull your pelvis the other way. Get that sensation again of that tensional integrity. So could you go faster? Yeah, you could go into a little bit of a sway, pattern swing, okay? I tell you, I gotta start adding music to these things. A couple more like this, 2 more like that, and then just allow yourself to come up. So static stretching, never really should there be a static stretch, I think anyway. In fact, if I statically stay here, how can I make this a dynamic action? Breathing, pressing into the floor. I can add a tensional quality without even moving, right? But then if you take that tensional quality, push into the ground, push your pelvis away, feel it pulling it off to the side. Now you're adding that dynamic experiential to the exercise or to the stretch, right? So you can stay static and add push and pull with just your intention without actually moving the bones. Or you can start to sway or swing the bones. And I would suggest that you do that while applying that tensional quality with the push and the pull. Try that a couple times. Use your breath too, that really helps. Okay, now come up to standing. How does that feel through your whole adductor area, whole groin area? Pretty nice, right? Okay, one more stretch. It'll be our 4th stretch of the day. We're gonna go into a hamstring stretch. Okay, so typical classic hamstring stretch. You put your foot forward, you drive your pelvis back, you get that hinge pattern. Now, go ahead and tilt your body forward. How does that feel? It's a static stretch, right? It feels good. I mean, I'm not saying that's not good. I'm just saying, how can you change the experience? How can you create more sensation about this stretch, okay? That's what I'm asking you to do, is ask yourself that. How can you do it? Squeeze your quadricep, drive your heel into the floor, pull your pelvis up, sense that tensional network. Now start to press in different positions with your body. Push and press and reach and reach and press. Notice how as you're doing this motion around that fixed leg, you're sensing that 3-dimensional quality, that tensional quality, sort of like the muscular envelopes of your fascial tissues around the muscle, right? Reaching, and now stand up. Whew. Okay, how does that feel? Different on that side maybe? Okay, let's do the other side. Start off with, as we did before, you just press that foot out in front of you and you drive your pelvis back. Stiffen the thigh, and just stay there for a moment. This feels nice, right? Are you feeling that? If you stiffen your thigh and you think about, really quadricep pulling up, getting that hamstring to release a little, that feels great, okay? Adding to that would be what? Squeezing above the kneecap, right? Feeling the quad, driving the pelvis back as you dig the heel. So now tension the 2 ends of the femur and into the heel, okay? Tension that whole posterior line. Now, you feel that tensioning? With the tension applied, start to press into different positions, explore. And again, this is your own individual exploration. What are you sensing? Look for the pleasure, right? Look for the pleasure. Where's it feeling really good? Oh yeah, right there, right there. And add a little bit of a push through my hands. Press out, reach, so come right out of that space with reaching patterns and really explore your potential here. And release. Whew, come on up. All right, how's it feeling? Check thumbs up on that. All right, sense how your body feels. Let's do a little quick recap. What did we review? Isolated to integrated, right? Isolated stretching, right here. Isolated stretch, nice, really good. Integrated, nice, really good. Press, push and pull, opposite ends of the line. Really tension the ends of the line. Now you can even add that pulsing pattern here, or reaching, pressing. So careful when you go into end range of motion to get too much into a pulsing action without integrity. Apply the integrity, make sure you apply the integrity. So let's do this on the other side. Think about what I just said. Side bend isolated, side bend integrated, pushing. All right, now adding the pulsing sensation, yes, really good, but not if this tension isn't turned on. I want to feel that tensional quality. I don't want to go into collapse mode in any of my joints or any of my body tissues. I want to really feel that sensation of that stretch going through the long lateral line, and then just come back up to center. All right, notice how you're feeling. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Excellent, okay. Calming the central nervous system down, but how much energy did that give you? Just this quick little 15 minutes of mobility with attentional quality, right? So what are you stretching when you stretch? Do you actually know? Do you know what you're stretching? Are you stretching the muscle? Are you stretching the fascia that's embedded in it? Are you stretching the fascial tissues that are surrounded, the muscular envelopes? It's hard to really decipher that, isn't it? So what I'm asking you to do is apply a little tension to your stretch, apply a little attention, not just tension, but attention, a mindfulness quality, and sense what the tissue feels like. Feel your own body. explore space when you're stretching. Start to move in different directions. Apply the push and the pull, okay? Got that? There won't be an exam later, don't worry. Okay, thanks for joining on Instagram Live, everybody. I really enjoyed having you, and I look forward to next week. I'm coming up with some great ideas about mindfulness in movement for next week. So next week's Midday Movement is going to be all about mindfulness. Now, we were mindful today too, don't you think? But next week we'll be definitely exploring that concept, okay? So thank you for joining. And again, you can always log on to PJ Auclair On Demand and see more, get a 7-day free trial. Thanks. Bye. Thanks, everybody.